We are live yet again this week. Thanks for hanging out. And you know, Rob, we have a great show today. I mean, there's so much coming up. Everything from the illegal knee in UFC that everybody's talking about. So we'll talk about that. Bare Knuckle Kingdom in Thailand. Everybody's talking about that as well. We'll shed some light on that. And Joe Elmore coming on, who's one half of our main event. I believe, what are we, like 8 days away now?
We are.
Wow, man, it's going to be great. But before we get to that, I want to talk about how much I enjoyed hurting you last week. How much I enjoyed putting you on a full Nelson.
Not.
I know you didn't. So apparently... You had to go to the doctor about this?
Yeah,
I didn't believe this when you told me.
Yeah, so after you roughed me up something nice and I tapped out about 45 times and you weren't paying attention. Yeah. And people are like, no, he's faking it. So yeah, it's something quirked in my neck. Obviously I had ice bag for the most part, but went to the chiropractor and I'm not sure if we can get the photos.
You actually have the photos?
Yeah, we have I have the x-rays. So my neck is on the left and a normal neck is on the right. And yeah, so they're saying my neck has whiplash or something. And
Whip from full Nelson. I didn't know my power. Maybe I should just start, if I ever get mugged or something, I'll throw him in a full Nelson. It'll be easy. So my question is, first of all, I hope you're okay.
I'm doing much better, thank you.
I did enjoy it, and I think the chat enjoyed it as well. Please let us know if you enjoyed me putting Rob in a full Nelson, and you'd see more beatings on Rob in the future.
No, please thumbs down that.
But today, we're talking about the illegal knee first, so can I illegally knee you in the face before we start this segment?
No, absolutely not.
Well, I didn't think so.
I'd have to get nose reconstruction.
UFC over the weekend, we watched it, you saw it, and with the illegal knee that everybody's talking about, can you speak more on that?
Wow. I mean, how do you even unravel that? So, yes, the knee was illegal. Was he concussed? Yes. I don't think that's what the drama is about. The whole drama is the way that, Sterling, his reaction in the ring and then his, I guess, behavior immediately following, like an hour right after.
But you're talking about reaction in the ring, and let's start there. Mm-hmm. To me, when I was watching, this is what I thought. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, all right, this guy got knocked. We saw that knee. He got hit hard and he was knocked senseless. He was obviously hit illegally. Yep. And I also heard that apparently the corner in Russian was saying you should knee him. That's why he kneed him. That was what I read online.
Yeah, and I don't know why his corner would ever say that.
That's like bad info.
That's bad advice.
But then I felt like the fight, I know somebody told me there's some time and all, but I felt like they waited way too long and they keep questioning the guy. Can you continue? Can you continue? No fighter from what I've seen is ever going to say that they can't continue. The ref's going to have to call it.
Quentin Henry did.
Well, that was different. The guy had like no,
sure, but I get what you're saying.
But he actually went on to continue, and then Quentin Henry, gave it his all. But now this guy, I thought it was interesting that they're asking him, and it was almost embarrassing because he's kind of not trying to say I want to be done, and they keep asking him. The camera's up close. He's like, I don't know. I guess. Yeah, out to lunch. The guy was out to lunch. Called the fight.
Yeah, I'm so confused to that. I thought that if an illegal action took place, the referee would immediately stop it, not wait 5 minutes or give 5-minute breaks. That might be the rules, but it really seemed confusing from the judge's standpoint, from the referee's standpoint. Now, obviously, the corners weren't sure what was going on, and obviously, Sterling is sitting there. Listen, if it's an illegal knee, I'm sure his corner is saying, "Hey, man, do what you got to do. This is your belt now."
I'll tell you what, as a business decision, I don't think he should have gone on with that illegal knee, especially with how concussions are and stuff now. But as a businessman, I have no problem with what he did. He got hit illegally. He's going to stand up after he got his bell rung, get knocked out and lose and not have any shots, or he can keep the title and get big money for a rematch now. It's brilliant. And, hopefully he's okay, but you tend to think there's some more to this story, right?
Well, yeah, so he's concussed, he's hurt. Yes, leave it at that. Go home, get some rest. Anyone that's been hit really hard, concussed, or even, sent to the hospital, relax. Take a couple days off. Now, after the fact, his in-ring, for lack of a better term, antics, crying, refuses to take the belt. He doesn't want to win that way. If that's sincere, if that's truthful, awesome.
That's great, yeah.
But then the photos after the fact, you see that he's cheering, he's pausing, he's
posing. But
posing.
You're going before the photos even. He went and did the post-fight interview, didn't he? Because even Rogan was like, "What? I got to interview this guy?" No, Rogan doesn't like interviewing people when they're concussed.
He doesn't. He absolutely.
And then
doesn't.
They had him do it, and he was even like, "What are we doing? I can't believe I just did that."
And hey, he wanted to. Yeah. Sterling wanted to, voice his case and say, "Hey, this is how I feel." Again, leading up to all that, I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. It's what happened after the fact. 30 minutes, not even an hour later, it's almost like he was championing for a fight with Henry Cejudo, and they were doing pose downs. Like, listen, if you're concussed, man, relax. I think it crossed the line.
Have you ever been concussed?
I have a couple times.
Except last week. I've been concussed numerous times. That's I know I have. And sometimes they're different. One time concussion, you almost feel like he probably had the adrenaline from the fight going, you would think still.
Sure.
That's natural. But now he's concussed and you're a little confused. Sometimes when you're concussed, you almost feel like you're drunk or something. Not all the time, but sometimes. So maybe he had adrenaline. He was a little out of it and didn't even realize that he shouldn't be doing it. Like he probably was like, I'm a fighter, I'm fine. He wants to ignore it. That's my thought. Maybe that's why he went out. Maybe he had an engagement to be out. Maybe he was having an after party. Maybe he had to be there because he's being paid. He didn't want to miss his money. And again, concussions you must be careful with. Absolutely. If he had one. So I find that a little weird too. But I mean, if he's out, you said partying?
Well, I mean, he's out with people posing. It looks like he was raising drinks. I could be 100% wrong. You know, it could be taken from another time or another fight. But yeah, if someone is concussed, if someone is hurt during the ring, you know, I think there should, you know, his team should get behind him and say, hey, listen, you need to relax and, you know, take a break. And, you know, all the antics, as I say, and I don't mean that derogatory, could have been real. You know, if your bell's rung hard enough, you're not in the right state of mind, man. You know, crying and laying the belt down, he doesn't want to win that way. I'm sure he trained his ass off for this fight, and it was a great fight. It was a very competitive fight, and no one likes to see it go out that way. It was, again, post-fight, that's...
You didn't like that antics.
I don't like that. I don't like what occurred.
You know, you would think his coaches, like you said and stuff, would kind of almost chain him into a bedroom in the hotel or something so he couldn't go out. We're going to talk to Joe Elmore later in the show, and it's funny because we'll talk about what his coaches do to him and how they get him ready, and they're on top of him. So you would think being a huge UFC fighter, they would be on top of him. So who knows? Who knows? But I do know that we have a lot of other stuff today, and a lot of other people talking, aside from that show, the UFC show, a lot of people talking about Bare Knuckle Kingdom, which we had on the app. Bare Knuckle Kingdom, I thought fight-wise was a good show. You know, there's mixed emotions. What were your emotions on Bare Knuckle Kingdom?
Yeah, I'm gonna slice it very honest, man. There was a whole boatload of comments that were on social media, like, you know, what is this? And I think a lot of people were confused. So Bare Knuckle Kingdom is its own promotion. You know, they do events. The promoter to that does a variety of different events. The fights were absolutely amazing, as you said. I think the production isn't BKFC because it's not BKFC, and it's, you know, I think it's, you know, different content.
Let's talk about it. I want to examine that a little bit because I think people are confused. I think people think that was a BKFC event like in Thailand. It was a Bare Knuckle Kingdom 1 event where we carried it on the app. It's not part of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. What we're doing is just adding more content on the app. So look, there's going to be stuff on the app that you absolutely love. Me too, even working here. There's going to be stuff that I love and stuff that I hate and stuff that I dislike. So you're going to watch what you want, but we're just trying to provide something for everyone. And some people did like it. They loved the fights, like you said. I was pissed off because I couldn't be there. I mean, the atmosphere, if you saw on those pictures, it was a beautiful, beautiful area in Thailand. John Nutt, I guess we could say he's a little over the top as the ring announcer, but it had an interesting feel to it, Rob.
Well, yeah, I'm going to just read one of the comments right now. Chris Darren, the announcer of Bare Knuckle Kingdom was shit. So... that's his opinion on it.
So is that the announcer? Is he talking about the commentator, or who's he talking about?
Yeah, so I think he's talking about John Nutt, the announcer, who's a very colorful commentator. It's different. It's not BKFC.
Not for everybody.
Boxing. It's something totally different. You know, that's something that, you know, hopefully moving forward, you know, there will be more communication so our fans understand what that product is, what it is not. So there is no, you know, hey, you know, what are you guys doing? I mean, he's a wild dude, man. John's a wild guy, man.
He does Fight Circus, right? It's called too, and they do all kinds. I saw the promos that like 3 versus 1, 2 versus 1, all these gimmicky things, which is interesting to me. I mean, I would check it out, but again, Bare Knuckle Kingdom. I think in the future, what we learned from this event, to be transparent, because that's what we always are here at BKFC, that we are going to look at the production to make sure the production is better, and we have a certain standard that we want as a professional organization. And I think if that fight would have been broadcast more with our standards, there wouldn't be as much blowback on it. But I do think the people that liked it. Again, good fights.
Yeah, the fights are amazing, man.
From the fighters, we can't take anything.
Get polished up. The next one will be even better.
And yeah, there's some. The one knockout was insane. I mean, look, we're showing it right now. Look at the beautiful background too. I keep looking at that.
It doesn't get any better than being.
Why don't we get to go down there in Thailand and work that?
Yeah, I missed that call.
Me too. So there's, you can see.
There it is. There it is.
He's down.
Overhand right. I'm not gonna lie, man. Some of these fighters can step right into BKFC and give, you know, some of our top guys a run for their money, no doubt.
Well, I mean, you have so many people. Muay Thai in Thailand, it's so huge, and some of these guys making their debut in bare knuckle, and they looked amazing. It was cool. It was cool to see that kind of thing, and the production was different. They had a little more like rap music. They had more. Everything was different production wise, which was interesting too. Look at that, man.
Yeah, what a great fight.
That's when I see that I don't want to be in Thailand because I don't want to get hit like that. I mean, I'll watch; it'll be good. Any more comments before we button up the Thailand thing? I mean, I think Bare Knuckle Kingdom 2, we're gonna do another one. You're gonna see improvements on it. It's gonna be, I think, even better. Not only great fights, but production wise. I mean, that's fair to say.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. See what happens and what else we have on the app. There's tons of stuff on the app, including we actually have a face-off between Joe Elmore and Leonard Garcia that we just did the other day because we have that event coming up in about 8 days for Bkfc 16. Now, Joe's going to be joining us on the show in about 35 minutes. We'll be talking to him. Somebody just wrote in the chat, he's a future Hall of Famer, Joe Elmore. I enjoy watching Joe the Hitman Elmore fight. It's going to be interesting. He's always fun. He's like a lawnmower. You pull the ripcord and watch him go. I mean, he's going to be fun to bring on later on the show, and I'm looking forward to that. Do you have any like burning questions for Joe? I have a few.
Yeah, that guy's exciting, man. I want to know where he gets his energy from. Like his passion is like second to none. If it was, WWE, he reminds me of like the Ultimate Warrior. He might as well come running to the ring, and when he comes in there, he swings to the fences.
He does. He doesn't stop. He comes at you. He'll take shots to give shots. He must be hopped up on like 2 cases of Tiger Life when he comes out there, man, because it's insane. And he's such a colorful character. And we'll talk more about that. And so maybe we'll find out. I don't even know much of his background. I believe he did MMA. I want to find out more about that. And again, any questions you have in the chat, please drop them in there, and then we can ask him those questions as well. It's interesting to me too that Tom Schoaf, who, if you remember, Elmore went a 5-rounder with. And ended up winning, but Elmore's face was just destroyed in that fight. He's actually training with Leonard Garcia, who I was talking to yesterday.
Is he?
So he's down there helping Leonard Garcia out. I don't know if Joe even knows that. We'll talk to him about that as well.
You're giving him the secrets, man.
Yeah,
that's
that's what he's doing.
That's Rocky 3 right there. Apollo Creed helping out Rocky to fight.
It is Rocky 3. I mean, the show fight. If you look at the show fight, it was interesting with Joe Elmore because
look, sticking his chin out there, dude. He just took that shot, man.
Well, if you look, we're going to show part of the fight, I'm sure, in a minute. But if you're looking at the fight. I said this to Tom yesterday. It was almost when Tom would get knocked down by Joe, Tom would have this look of frustration on his face, like, son of a bitch, he got me again. And I don't want him to get me, like he would shake his head. So, I mean, Tom just, I guess, couldn't find what he needed. And with the scoring and everything, it was different. And Tom spoke on that yesterday, too. He said, no one has the key to beating anyone, but I have hints and tips that I can give to Leonard. And it was so nice that Leonard invited me down here. And, he said they had met before, and they became friendly, and they really vibed. And he got the call from Leonard. He said, I was going to call Leonard. So Shoaf's down there. And who knows? Maybe Leonard will show up with a mustache. Maybe, who knows? That's part of the training.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. But look at this. Watch. You can see me shakes his head. He's just, right there. Oh, he got me again. Jeez, come on, man. And Shoaf's like, I have to find the key to beat this guy. That's what I was thinking when I was watching this. And he's like, why does this guy keep getting me? It was frustrating. And
Shoaf was hitting him with everything, even the kitchen sink, man. For 5 rounds, he's just beating on this dude and he's just, it's about as hardcore as it gets. He was just moving forward throughout the entire fight nonstop. And that's gotta be defeating. It's just, wailing at your opponent and they're still coming forward. They're still bloody and there's no quitting that dude, man.
Elmore's like the Terminator.
You gotta love it.
He's like the Terminator. He's just going to keep coming at you. And he knows it. We've talked about it before. He's never been knocked out by a punch, he said. Matter of fact, if you can search the internet, he always says this and find a clip of being knocked out. We'll give you $1,000. So good luck. Also, there was a point in the fight, and I don't know if we can find, I don't know if it was even on TV. This might be it. When he went to the doctor was going to call it. Joey told me this. The doctor kept saying,
right here.
I don't know if this is the one. Hold on. What round is this? Is this that we're in here? I think that there was times when he had to keep going to the doctor to get checked, and Joe was saying to the doctor, I don't know if they called it on mic, don't take this effing fight away from me. I'm fine. And there's one point where he throws his arms up in the air and stuff. And Joe is a very honorable fighter from what I can see. Like, you think he's a madman, but he's very honorable. You can see the way he treats the other fighters with respect, but he's coming in there to eat their lunch. He's coming in there to take care of them. And I think that it would have behooved Shoaf to fight a little lighter than 165 here too. Look at that, Joe tasting his own blood.
I think he's
hold on. Joe just tasted his own blood. This is the guy we're interviewing. How could you miss this? You know what I mean? That was incredible.
And this is the type of fight that earns fans and earns respect, man. I mean, both respect was earned to both fighters.
Oh yeah.
Tom Schoaf, in the chat, in the comments, people are saying Shoaf needs to fight Tyler Goodjohn.
I'd like that.
And to your point of the weight, I thought that Shoaf's natural weight was 165. Apparently, he's been moving up to fight opponents, and his real weight's like 155, 145.
Yeah, so I talked to Tom yesterday because he's down there training with Leonard, and one of the things he said is that he walks around, like you said, at 165. He was looking to fight a little lighter. So, I mean, we'll see where that goes, but I wouldn't mind seeing him and Tyler. I mean, that might be a good fight for Tyler in the future. I'd watch that.
Yeah, that would be a barn burner,
That'd
man.
be fun to watch.
And I'd love this, again, you know, if Tom's not comfortable 165, which I completely understand, I'd love to see him run this back, man.
All right. And on top of that, we didn't talk about this. I know we've said it in the past, but if people are just tuning in, this fight here, what you might not have seen behind the scenes was that Joe actually bit a piece of his tongue off during this fight. He said he was going for an uppercut, he told me, and he kind of bit down when he did it. Or he was going for, a right, I think. And he bit down when he was doing it. He likes to bite on his mouthpiece, and I think Tom uppercut him. Gave him an uppercut, and he bit a piece of his tongue off. And he also had a piece of his head. This Leonard was talking about this. He was pushing it back in. Then this guy's out hanging out with the fans. Joe Elmore is a man of the people. And Leonard Garcia, you know, again, we're going to talk about this a little bit later.
Where do we find these people at, man? We got to get the matchmaker on. We got to get Nate Shook on this podcast, dude, because he really finds, like, you know, some of the most savage people in the world, dude. These guys are on a whole other level.
You know, the first time I saw Joe fight first against Will Chope, was that a first or I think it was a first round knockout, pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I remembered seeing him, and that was my first event with Bkfc. And I remember getting a text from my friend that said, all it said was Joe Elmore, ! And I said, after the fight, I thought the same way. That guy has such charisma. He's a wild man. He wants to win, and he'll do anything to win. So I'm really excited for the Bkfc main event coming up against a legend like Leonard Bad Boy Garcia, who's respects Joe. He said he even fears Joe a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, their fighting styles are so very similar, man. If that fight gets out of the second round, I think it will even be ended in the first. I'd be really surprised.
It's two trains colliding, and they're not. I mean, obviously, Garcia said he was looking for the KO. A lot of times going there, you're looking for the KO, but I don't think Joe's going to let him have that KO. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I think we should move on. I think Joe, that's going to be exciting. So we're about 25 minutes away from Joe right now. We'll look forward to talking to him. But this is a new segment we started last week, which I'm a big fan of. I know you are too. We're calling it the knockout of the week. Where's my visual? The knockout of the week. Try it again. The knockout of the week.
There it is.
There it is.
It should be knockouts because we have three. We have your pick, we have my pick, and then we have the fans' pick.
Yeah. We love hearing from the fans. Let's start with my pick.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone's seen this online. I laughed for like 25 minutes of this. I must have rewatched it 100 times.
Step away from the mic, man. This is ridiculous.
It's bad. You get nervous. You get nervous being a broadcaster when you see this. Look, watch the wall fall on this guy.
Here we go.
This is ESPN. Ooh!
Oh my God.
Dude, that's insane. How did he not die? And we'll talk about, I found out what happened. Ooh. Can we slow-mo that? The guys in the truck, can we slow-mo that? I want to see that in slow-mo. That would be great to see in slow-mo. Here we go. Look at that. Boom. So he gets hit in the back, and he smashes his face.
He's dead.
Like, that's bad. And so I don't speak
Sorry.
Spanish. I have no clue what they were saying on this. I have no clue. The comments were all in Spanish. My wife speaks Spanish. I had her go through everything. And she said almost all the comments were saying, like, oh, my God, is he dead? Is he okay? And then they said he's actually okay. He's perfect shape. Nothing bad. But, man, I've been a broadcaster for, almost 20 years, and I've never had anything fall on my head or fall on me. I don't know how I react to that. I mean,
I could see, like, a couple of things falling on set, man, but a whole damn wall, that's an amazing knockout of the week, Brian.
I bet you the guy got fired who was putting up the set there. I mean, that's...
I would hope so, dude.
How does that even happen?
Somebody, man.
So I started thinking about it, though, Rob. Do you think maybe there's somebody who doesn't get along with him on the show? So they went behind the set, and maybe they gave it a little shove just to kind of teach him a lesson.
A little push, man.
Yeah, maybe an intern is upset with the way he's being treated or something. That would be good.
Has to get coffee too much?
That's right. Here's your extra sugar, you son of a bitch. All right, let's move on. Knockout of the week for you. What do you have, man?
Oh, man. Here we go. All right. I hate talking politics, Brian. I really do. I really don't, man. But, there's...
Is this politics?
All right. I don't know.
It is.
Maybe,
some people
maybe
say
not.
it is.
So it looks like that Pepe Le Pew has been canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So knockout of the week, my knockout of the week is Pepe Le Pew is removed from Space Jam 2. So there's chatter on the internet, and man, I don't even know how to unwrap this really quickly, but I think we just need to pause a little bit and take a step back and say, where's our focus at? I understand that, there's some things that happened in the past, and there's, characters that might not be appropriate. But
why is Pepe Le Pew not? I mean, I know, but for younger listeners that might not be privy to this,
Well,
why
let
would
me
he
pause
not
real
be fair?
fast. I'm glad he was knocked out because I think he was a terrible cartoon. I'm an Animaniacs
Really?
fan.
I like Animaniacs,
or or
Baloney in our
Daffy Duck
slacks.
was Daffy Duck was old Daffy Duck was all wild and crazy.
Yeah.
That's my personality. I never liked Pepe Le Pew.
I can tell.
I'm happy that he's quote unquote canceled, right? Because I don't like him
Wow.
as a cartoon. But
Come on, Rob.
I think the rationale behind not having him is just I think we're going in a strange direction with this cancel.
Let's talk about this with the cancel culture. So with Pepe Le Pew being canceled, whether you like him as a cartoon character, I mean, I respect your opinion, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that, from what I can see, they're saying it's the old "baby, it's cold outside." Why they canceled that? That he's not taking no for an answer. When I was a kid, let's transition back to that.
Yep.
When I was a child and watched Pepe Le Pew, I never thought about him not taking no for an answer. And I think a big part of that was my parents too. They would describe, they would tell me, that's not bad. He's just trying. Should we cancel Saved by the Bell? Because Screech doesn't take no for an answer from Lisa.
And that's what I mean. You could go
Where do
down.
you stop it?
Yeah, you can go down this road all day. So if you're taking your life advice from a cartoon and you're mimicking a cartoon, that's scary. You need to take a step back as a parent, as an educator, and say, okay, if you're showing your children cartoons and they're supposed to be learning life lessons strictly and exclusively from that, where does it end? Let's talk about the music. Let's talk about the video games, and you can go down that path all day long.
Which
And
I never
that's
will,
what
because I think it's ridiculous.
And that's what I mean. I'm like that knockout of the week is
It's a great pick for knockout of the week, but it annoys me too, because again, where does this stop? I respect everybody's opinion. I'll listen to anybody. That's what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
But where does this stop? Again, we had the "Baby, It's Cold Outside." That's been going on for a couple years. Great song, by the way. I used to be on the radio and I loved playing that song. Also,
Really can't stay.
the Pepe Le Pew thing. I have producers singing in my ear right now. They really can't stay. I wish I would do that live on the air here. Everything. What else is going to come? What else? I was looking at when they canceled Dr. Seuss, the things on Dr. Seuss recently, and I was watching. I'm not going to get into it, but I was watching Curious George with my son, and I thought to myself, "Wow, I don't believe this, but people can twist anything in any way they want to." That's
Sure.
the problem. And how do we stop that? How do we combat that? What do you think should be canceled? Let us know in the chat. That'd be great.
Do you think he should have been canceled?
Yeah. Do you think that? I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. Thank you, Rob, for wiping that
No,
up.
I mean that also. Is there anything out there that's like ridiculously glaring that needs to be?
Yeah, that's the thing. I
revisited?
feel like they go after things that don't always really need. They put the spotlight on to make them worse than they are. When there's a lot of stuff out there that should be canceled. Like, go after the stuff that matters. And who am I to say? Maybe that matters to somebody else. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'd have no problem with my son or my daughter watching Pepe Le Pew. And you know why? Because it starts at home, and I would describe to them, and if they had questions. But look, kids don't think about that stuff. They're just watching a cartoon. They don't know. What did Pepe Le Pew used to say? He used to say something like, I can't remember now. Was it I think that was it. I don't have my soundboard.
Yeah, and if anything, learn from it that Pepe Le Pew was a moron because he thought the cat was a skunk, so
And he
he's
never
an
got the
idiot.
girl, ever.
So that's what you should learn. Don't be like the dumb skunk.
That's right. That's a great lesson. I'm going to teach my kids that lesson.
There you go.
So let's talk now.
right.
I love when the fans send in, and we encourage this, the fans send in their knockout of the week. And this is a great one. It comes from, I have his name here. I have to read it. Hold on. I want to make sure I get it right. It's on screen, right? Yeah, John M. from Idaho. Ali Frazier. Big anniversary, man. Big anniversary for them. And
50th year,
can you
man.
believe that? It's been 50 years. I mean, I wasn't alive. You weren't alive. But we've seen the tapes. We've seen how big of a fight that was. And as we were talking before we went on the air, we were saying that was the one that started the trilogy off that everyone talks about.
The most anticipated fight of all time. You have two undefeated heavyweights, Smoke and Joe Frazier.
Philly
from the
boy.
Yeah,
That's it.
City of Brotherly Love. Taking the win, 15-round unanimous decision, which, transitioned into a trilogy between them and two of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all times and one of the greatest fighters of all times, Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to start an internet war, someone in our production team doesn't believe that Muhammad Ali is the best fighter of all time. I'll leave his name out of it.
Who does he believe is the best fighter of all time? Out of curiosity, I'm curious.
That's a great.
Did you ever
question,
talk
man.
about that one?
No. I
Because I
won't.
mean, Ali, that's the easy one. Like, he's the greatest fighter of all time. That's what everybody. That's what
it's
we've
the
been.
LeBron James, Michael Jordan argument.
Well, I'll go Michael Jordan all day for that. But that's just me. That's me. 23, 45, whatever number he wears, I'm in.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because I also was watching an interview recently with Joe Frazier's daughter, and she was saying how they were actually really good friends with a lot of respect. And I believe Joe lent in their earlier years lent him money or something, and they were friendly, and they didn't show that. Which that's fine because we didn't want to see that at the time. But it's nice afterwards to find out there wasn't that much bad blood there. That's what she was saying.
Muhammad Ali was a genius, man. He sparked careers and, everything from Ric Flair to Conor McGregor. Everybody
Without
took
him,
cues from Muhammad Ali, and what an amazing athlete he was.
I think it's interesting when I talk to fighters and we talk about marketing and stuff like that. And some of them really understand the importance of not being Muhammad Ali, but being a marketer. Chris Lieben mentioned that, how important that is to me one time. And I concur with that because some fighters, they just want to fight. They don't want to market. And I respect that. But if you market yourself, you'll fight and make more money, most likely. It betters your chances. That's my opinion.
Sure.
I believe that to be true.
And if you have the Mike Tyson mentality, dude, where you're just knocking everybody out first round, that kind of speaks to itself. And then you get into, like, who is Mike Tyson?
I could just watch his YouTube clips all day from back in the day.
When he's awesome.
Well, all his comments and quotes. So we have other good stuff coming up, as you've seen on the screen throughout the show. Joe Elmore, he's going to be on with us in about 15 minutes. We'll get him on. We also, in a moment here, are going to revisit a fight that was awesome from Bkfc 4. It was Julian Lane versus Joe Elmore.
We're going to do a reaction to that, aren't we? But the fans are going to watch it live?
I'm sorry, I said Leonard Garcia. I'm thinking of Joe. Versus Leonard Garcia. And I think that we're going to react to it, and we're going to look at it. We're all going to watch together, and we want to invite you in the comment section, too, to react to it as well. Again, Leonard Garcia coming up, taking on Julian Lane, and it was a 2-rounder, and it was a good fight, man. I enjoyed it. So it's going to be fun to rewatch that again in a couple minutes. Before we get to that, I think we're going to take a break here. Oh, we didn't ask which. I'm way off here. What's your KO of the week? Thank God for these producers. You can always email us your KO of the week. We got so excited talking about Muhammad Ali and everything that we forgot. We love seeing what you have. It doesn't have to be sports. It can be like a Pepe Le Pew thing, and we'd love to put it on here and give you a shout out as well because we love hearing from you. So always you can email that if you come up with any knockouts of the week or anything cool like that. We'd like to hear more from you. Again, Julian Lane, Leonard Garcia coming up, watch along, reaction video. We're all going to watch together here in a minute. And then we're going to talk to Joe Elmore, who's fighting Leonard Garcia coming up in about 8 days on BKFC 16. I'm looking forward to that, Rob. But right now, I don't know, but I think we have a break in place here, I believe.
I do.
We do.
Quick
60-second break, then we'll be back.
I need it.
It'll be a 2-minute break by the time Rob's done saying it. But we'll be right back with the watch along, the reaction video, and watch the fight with you.
Tiger Life is not about race or religion, black or white, young or old, male or female. It's not about where you live or where you're from. It's about finding your why in life. Tiger Life is a way of life. It's a purpose, a light, the future. We all have a story to tell, so let's tell it. It's time to be heard. Just remember, we may not be able to rewrite our story, but we sure as hell can change the ending. Tiger Life. Energy never tasted so good.
Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 16 live Friday, March 19th. Watch as Leonard Bad Boy Garcia aims to end the undefeated streak of Joe Hitman Elmore. And Chop Chop Corley takes on the educated hands of Reggie Barnett. Plus, former heavyweight champ Arnold Adams returns to face Bobo O'Bannon. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 16, Friday, March 19th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on the Bare Knuckle TV app. Download it now, bkfc.com.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I think if you're looking at bare knuckle, we're back. Okay, well, we're talking about this. So we might as well talk about it anyway. We're talking about this during the commercial. We started talking about Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali who would win in a bare knuckle fight. I'm going to go right out just off my top of my head. We weren't really arguing. This just came up. But I say Mike Tyson. I mean, Muhammad Ali is smooth. He can move around and stuff, and he's good at what he does. He's one of the greatest or the greatest. But Mike Tyson, off the scratch line, off the toe line, when they toe the line, knuckle up, if he catches you with that first punch, man, a Mike Tyson style punch?
Yeah, Mike Tyson. That's
I
murder.
wouldn't want it. Yeah, right?
That's murder. Yeah, my immediate reaction is Mike Tyson is the guy to go to. But if it gets past the first round, Muhammad Ali, his movement, his head movement, his elusiveness, his jab, I mean, he can keep Tyson at bay all day long, man.
I think as the rounds will progress, you're correct. I think that Tyson's going to win earlier. If he can't get it early in the bare knuckle fight against Muhammad Ali, the fantasy fight we're talking about here, then he probably wouldn't win because how good Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, was it moving around the ring. That would be an awesome fight. I wish we could see that. I think at one point we did offer Mike, I think I can remember that, a bunch of money to do a bare knuckle.
There was some
Any chance that's ever going to happen, do you think?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is Mike Tyson came out publicly to say he didn't even want to box anymore.
Yeah.
Like old style Mike Tyson boxing. The training is very strenuous. going into, their exhibition between him and Roy Jones Jr., he was comfortable with it. He was comfortable with the shots he took. He was comfortable in the shots he was, given to Roy as well. And I think he's very cognizant of, at that age, hitting each other in the head, nothing good comes out of that. So
you're right. But here's another question. When you look at Tyson, I mean, he's got such a legacy, right? I mean, good and bad, but in the boxing world, just look at his boxing career. He's got what a legacy. So if he did come to bare knuckle and he wasn't ready as he thought he was, he's a bad dude, Mike Tyson. But catches a shot, goes down, gets knocked out first, second round. What does that do for his legacy? Do you think that would affect it? You think people would care? You think it would just kind of be a blip because he's Mike Tyson?
No, I don't think it would take away from his legacy at all.
You think he'd be worried about that? Maybe that's why he wouldn't take the fight?
Yeah.
Because no fighter wants to leave losing. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we talked about this before. We talked about are fighters actually hungry anymore, right?
Some, yeah.
And, what takes that hunger, what takes that fire away from them? And I think a report just came out that Conor McGregor sold his shares of his whiskey for like $152 million.
That's sick.
I mean, big shout out to him, man. Great businessman, awesome fighter. But I said it before, I think the fire is gone. I don't think he's as hungry as he is. And, to the Mike Tyson point, I think his hunger is, is gone.
Well, I don't know if it's just his hunger. I think I hate to say this, but like his mentality and the way he used to train back in the day, or even just behave. I mean, it wasn't like a normal person. And that's why you would watch Mike Tyson, because he was so crazy and you knew it was going to be a spectacle. You knew it was going to be a show. And Mike has definitely melted, which is good for Mike. I mean, he's not a pro fighter anymore. He's always going to be a former pro fighter, but good for Mike to mellow as he gets older. I mean, you don't want to see a guy walking around. I do want to see a guy walking around being crazy, but for his life, out of respect, you want to see him mellow down a little bit and chill out. So I guess in the comments section too, it'd be great. Let us know. Bare knuckle fight. Tyson versus Ali, the fantasy fight. Who you got? We'd like to read that.
In their prime.
Yeah, in their prime. We should say that as well, in their prime. Joe Elmore's coming up in a couple minutes. We'll be talking to him in about, I'd say, 10 minutes or so, under 10 minutes, hopefully. We talked about this fight, Bkfc 4. It was Julian Lane taking on Leonard Garcia. By the way, Leonard Garcia taking on Joe Elmore.
The main event.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Bkfc 16, just 8 days away. It's on the BKTV app, bkfc.com. If for some reason you don't have it yet, grab it. It's going to be a hell of a fight. I'm pretty pumped up.
Yeah, it's going to be a barn burner.
But right here and now, we like to give you like free content. If you don't subscribe to the app, again, you can do that at bkfc.com. But this is one of the many things you'll see on the app. This is a fight from Bkfc 4. Julian Lane taking on Leonard Garcia. And let's just see what Leonard Garcia looks like. I know he's fought twice in BKFC. He's lost once, won once. He's 50-50 where Joe's undefeated. So let's just take a look. We'll watch along and we'll make some comments as we watch it all together. And we hope you make comments too in the comment section. What do you think of this fight as we're going along? We'd love to read them as well. Let's roll the fight and see what's going on with that and check it out. I'm pretty excited about the fight.
Man, let's hit
I'm
the
excited
play
to watch
button.
this, man.
Let's rock and roll. Here we go.
Oh, we didn't even hear the knuckle up. All right, ding, here we go. We're in there. We joined in progress. And I mean, this was at BKFC 4, as I said, Rob, which was in Cancun.
Yep, and this is both of their debuts, if I'm not mistaken, both of them.
And in Cancun, I believe it was the first outdoor show, first and only, that we've done. And I always wonder, I'd like to ask Joe this when he comes on in a couple minutes. Joe Elmore coming on in a couple minutes, as we said earlier. I'd like to know from Joe.
What a shot. Down goes Garcia.
Jeez.
I was watching this live. I wasn't in Cancun for the event, but I was watching this live. I was like, that's it. It's over.
But that's Garcia. He's going to take a shot, fall, get back up. But that's Elmore, too. What are these two going to do to each other? It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. Like, look at these guys. And Julian Lane, I have a deep respect for him, too. He's incredible. Look at that. Now, Julian, so one down, the other down.
Back and forth, man. This is a great fight.
This is what I feel like Elmore, as good as this is already, I feel like Elmore and Garcia, we're going to see that. It's going to be back and forth.
Let me bang, bro. Let me bang.
Right. Well, they're going to be banging coming up in 8 days, man. Now, if you look at this, not only being outside, but I always wonder this for fighters. Is it harder to fight outside? Like even in Thailand at Bare Knuckle Kingdom, they're outside. It's extremely hot out there, depending on the weather. Is that an adjustment to fight outside? I'd love to know that from a fighter because this one was outside, like I said.
Yeah, this is the first and to this point, the only event that we had outdoors.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, look at that. Look at
a shot, dude. He just took it.
For the record, I'd be down after one hit. These guys are warriors, man.
I mean, that's just Garcia, man. Garcia has been like this since his WEC days, and that's what made him such an amazing, exciting fighter. He's just, throwing caution to the wind, given everything he has.
Yeah. All right.
And yeah, this is nonstop.
I mean, look, look
man!
Now, look, even Joe,
that's dude, and I think the biggest and the hardest transition for MMA fighters coming into BKFC or even actually going into boxing is a boxer's mentality when being knocked down is to take a knee.
Yeah.
Get the 10 count, get your 10 count, or excuse me, not your 10 count. Get the 9 count and, take a break, take some time to
Get some
regroup
oxygen,
yourself. Yeah.
shake the cobwebs out. Bare knuckle moves so much faster
It
than
does.
boxing does, as you can see if this is your first time tuning in. I mean, 5 2-minute rounds. A lot of people say that are coming from other organizations, other places, they can't believe how quick it goes.
Yeah, and in between rounds with the round,
Excuse me,
not your 10 count. Get the 9 count.
Look at that. Look at these guys are just throwing. I mean, I know I keep saying it, Rob, but I'm really serious about this. I can't wait to see these two, Garcia and Elmore, throw coming up. I mean,
Yeah,
these guys.
I thought Julian Lane was going to take this and then his first round knockout, and then right there it
boom.
is, that right
See his
shot.
Legs, see the legs?
Oh,
Yeah, here goes Garcia.
4,
Look, he's going
5.
Ooh. He was
5
punching so hard, he even
unanswered
went
shots.
down. He even lost. He was going so hard.
Again, he got right up though. Take a knee, get the 9 count. Try to collect yourself a little bit, and I think that's the difference between Julian Lane fight 1 and then his fight with Alves. He looked like a totally different fighter.
I agree.
And I'm excited to see what Garcia is bringing to the table because he's training with Tom
Shove.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garcia. And we'll talk to, I don't know if Joe Elmore even knows that if you're just tuning in. They've been training. I was talking to Leonard Garcia yesterday. Tom Shove's been down there training with him, giving him little tips, what to look out for. So that's going to be interesting because Shove's the guy you want to hear from after that 5-rounder with Elmore. I mean, that's it. And there you go. The winner, is that going to look like that against Joe Elmore? Is this going to be the ending? Are we going to see this? Is it going to be Bad Boy Garcia getting the W, man? We're going to find out. I know he said that he's very excited to fight. Mm-hmm. He's proud to be here at BKFC, he was telling me. And he said that some of the stuff with Joe, such as like Joe punching himself in the head, he's made a comment, something like, if he's willing to do that to himself, like, what would he do to me? That's the mentality Garcia's taking. And you can see the face-to-face we did with Leonard Garcia and also with Joe Elmore. It's on the app. If you don't subscribe to the app, bkfc.com. Go check it out. Tons of content on there. Matter of fact, from that Cancun show we were just showing with Julian Lane and Leonard Garcia, there even was a great documentary done there called Knuckle Up. That's on the app too. I mean, if you haven't seen that yet, it's insanely awesome. So check it out, bkfc.com for more. Joe Elmore is going to be coming on in a few minutes. I know they're getting him ready to be on at any moment. Let's talk more about.
I saw one of the fans' questions. What questions do the fans have for Joe? Because I'll toss a fan question to Joe. Just let me know in the comments below. What do you want to ask him? What do you want to hear? I saw one person asked, "Hey Joe, do you have any great bar fight stories?"
I bet you back in the day, Joe Elmore's a good guy. Elmore's a nice guy when you talk to him. He loves the fans and all. But I feel like Joe goes like that, and he's ready to go. I don't think he looks for a fight, but if anybody was foolish enough, if anyone was foolish enough to challenge Joe Elmore at a bar, good luck to you.
Yeah,
not me, dude.
No
not
chance.
Me. So we have a giveaway also before we get to Joe Elmore in just a couple minutes. He's getting ready to come on. The producer's getting ready. So what are we giving away today, Rob?
Boom,
It's like my Vanna White.
Yeah, 2 amazing bare knuckle fighting championship hats. We have one in nice cream, and I really like this, man. The cream's cool and all, but I'm really down with the gray, heather gray style bare knuckle with the logo.
What kind of gray?
Heather gray, I believe.
I don't know. I'm asking you. I didn't know Heather Gray even is. You're a fashionista over there.
It's a form, man. I used to work at Macy's when I was 16.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's how he knows. Look, check it
Dress
out.
shirts and ties.
And they're fitted too, if you're wondering, because I'm a fitted guy. I like the snapbacks, but I'd rather do fitted a lot of times. So these are really nice hats. The cream one and the what gray? The heather gray?
The heather gray.
Ooh, he's holding the heather gray one.
Gray. I like
distressed
this, man.
gray.
It's really cool.
So we're going to give these out. How are we going to do it, Rob? What do you want to do?
Let us do a giveaway.
In the comments section, something like that. We could do the best Joe Elmore question, the one we ask.
Yeah,
We'll give a hat away to that.
Drop your question below. If we pick it, we're going to hook you up with a brand new BKFC hat. And all you have to do is DM us your contact information.
Yeah, and we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it if you have one of the good questions that we use. Also, you can buy this stuff at bareknuckleshop.com. You see it at the bottom of the screen. And I really believe that Bare Knuckle is some of the coolest merch out there. I mean, constantly, I know the merchandise department constantly cranking out cool stuff, being innovative. So we're excited about that. Again, buy your stuff, bareknuckleshop.com. I've worked for places before where I'm almost slightly embarrassed to wear their hats or their T-shirts because they're so corny. Here I'm like pumped. I'm like, I got a whole wardrobe. I walk out. And what's interesting now is when you wear the bare knuckle stuff on the street, you're seeing more and more people on the planes. They're coming up to you and they're saying, "Oh, we know. Oh, we've heard about you." It's really cool, man, because you can feel the product growing more and more.
Yeah, which is awesome. I was at a grocery store and I was wearing my BKFC mask and I forgot. I just throw a mask on. And the guy stopped me and he was like, "Hey man, that's really cool. I like that." And I'm like, "Thanks, man." And I kept walking because I forgot what mask it was. I'm like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about,
Cool.
man?"
You just thought you were cool.
Yeah, it's a regular mask. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
That makes you feel good with the work you put in. And if you're a current fan, you can see it growing. That should make you feel good too, because better fights are going to come. That means as we grow, everything's going to get so much better as we grow. We're all in this together on the road up.
Yeah,
but
we're
ground
infants.
floor.
We're infants in this game.
I know. Can you imagine
Stick
that?
around. It's going to be a very fun and long journey.
I was getting a cheesesteak and I had to get it in my car, and I got my seatbelt on. I'm the same thing. I don't even think I had my bare knuckle shirt
Social
on.
distance cheesesteak?
Yeah, I guess so. It was good. I don't know. It was great.
Just throw it through the window, man. Whiz it out.
I'll just open my mouth. But it's interesting because when I wore the shirt, the guy that dropped off, kid, right in the age range, like 20s, he's like, "I love your shirt." And I'm thinking like, at first, this was a couple months back, I'm like, he must not know it's a bear. He thinks it's another shirt. This is how I'm thinking months ago. And he goes, no, I love that stuff. I've been watching it. It's really cool. I just found out about it. He knew what it was, and he's pretty pumped. And that makes you feel so good, man. That makes you feel
I got
really
an
good.
idea really fast.
What do you have an idea?
Since,
I'm nervous.
I'll make it really quick. I'm going to make it really quick. The next event, next live event that we're at, not in Biloxi, the next event, what we're going to do, we're going to come into town. I'm going to bring $5,000 worth of merchandise, a camera. Me and you are going to go around town and giving out merchandise to anybody that has the app on their phone. So if we come up to you anywhere and you pull out your phone and you show us that you have the app on your phone, bam, free hat, free T-shirt.
I love it.
I even hook them up with some cash.
Well, if they don't have the app, can we force them to download the app and then give them something free?
Yeah, it's free, man. They don't got to pay for a thing. We have awesome content on it. Yeah, so the next town that we're in, we're going to go up to some fans or some potential fans. But do you have the BKTV app?
There is
You
BKTVApp.com. If they have it, they're going to get hooked up. So make sure that's on your phone. And when we stop you, we can talk everything BKFC. That's cool.
We'll shake
By the
you
way,
down too.
Rob just kind of throws this stuff out there. Has that been approved? I mean, we're getting $5,000 in cash.
Man,
Is the cash from my pocket?
No. This is why I get yelled at all the time for doing stuff and saying things I shouldn't be saying.
Every time we come off the air, there's something where we're like, why did you? We can't just be giving everything away. But then they get excited because they know we're hooking the fans up. So it ends up.
I love the fans so much, man. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. That's what makes this job
Oh my
so
gosh.
worthwhile.
Can you imagine? I said this last week, but Knucklemania, as awesome as it was, if that it was sold out with social distancing and COVID restrictions. If that was sold out, Knucklemania, can you imagine what that atmosphere would have been? It was awesome without being sold out because it was. But you know, so I'm excited to see where we're headed because I know that states are starting to open up.
Yep.
I know that hopefully soon we'll have more people at the events. And for me, I came on with you guys at the beginning of the pandemic. So
Yeah.
I've never been in a full arena like you guys were doing before. And I've seen the videos on the BKFC app, by the way, and it's electric. It was sellout crowds. This thing was growing in leaps and bounds and then boom. So it's going to be cool to get fans back in there. I know we're excited. We never really stopped having fans. We just had to limit the capacity.
Absolutely, for safety reasons and with the vaccines that are rolling out now, and things are getting a little bit better.
Vaccines, huh? Are you going to get vaccinated, do you think?
I'm gonna wait on it, man. It's like it's like any first generation system. So any tech heads or video game players out there, any first version of an iPhone or any first version of like a PlayStation or any gaming system in general, there's bugs. There's quirks about it that, hey, we didn't know this happened because we didn't get a beta test it long enough. I'm gonna wait, man. I'm gonna wait a year or two for the vaccine to get a little bit more improved because this is an accelerated version.
Yeah.
Not to say it's not safe. I'm not saying that by any stretch. There's a certain population, our older population definitely needs it. They're more susceptible.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at with it. I thought like vaccine-wise, I'm not getting it yet because, it's a shortage. I know older people with health issues, they need it. I come here and I get tested nonstop with BKFC, so I know I'm safe.
Yeah.
My wife's not really going anywhere because we have a newborn. We're inside. We don't do much. So I figured let the people that need it have it first. And I'm the same thing. Look, I mean, if they start like clucking like chickens or something, I know not to get it. Who knows what could happen? I'm just not, I appreciated being there for us, but I'm not trying to throw anything in my body that I don't know about yet. And I hope that at some point I'll be a little more educated and I'll get it. I don't know enough about the vaccines, but hey, if you can get one, great. And I support you. And I hope this dopey ass pandemic's over with soon. It's getting old.
Just everyone stay safe out there. That's all. And that's what we're trying to do.
So we have Joe Elmore coming up in just a couple minutes, a couple more minutes. I know they're getting him ready to come on. We're excited about that. And there's so much we're going to ask. And we talked about this earlier. Don't forget, if you throw in the comments section your question, then we pick your question. You're going to get free BKFC merch. Here's one of them, one of the hats, Heather Gray, as Rob
Gray,
said.
yep, and we got the cream.
And the cream color, as Rob said. So the questions that we pick out of the chat, if they're really good questions, we're going to hook you up with some free merchandise. And the website, you can always go there to get the merchandise as well.
Absolutely. And guess what? I'm going to throw in a special surprise if we pick that guest right now.
Oh, no.
Check this out, man. We are not sponsored whatsoever or any kind of affiliation, but Doritos 3D are back. You know, I grabbed like 6 bags, so we'll send you a bag of 3D Dorito as well, man.
Can I pull the curtain back a little bit? And last night I was on a conference call with this guy, just talking about the show a little bit. And one of the people on the conference call said, hey, I'm at the store walking by, and they mentioned 3D Doritos back out. And you didn't even let him finish the sentence. You're like, pick me up 17 bags. Like, I think you got a little excited by that. I mean, more like excited.
Man, 3D Doritos, man.
They're great.
That's like the McRib. It's like a one once every other year.
Everyone loves the McRib. Rob has this stock.
It's garbage food, though, man. It's no good for you. It's not healthy.
Who cares?
At all.
It's good. But I just, the way you reacted to that, I thought you had a child. Like, you were so excited. It was like your greatest thing ever happened to you.
Brian, I'm a fat kid in a fat kid's body.
Well, hey, man, Doritos are definitely good. Just they always make your breath smell. You got to have like a...
I know.
You a Cool Ranch guy or a nacho cheese guy?
I am a Cool Ranch.
Really, I'm nacho cheese, man.
We got to ask Joe.
Throw that in the chat. We're going to ask Joe because we have less than 8 days away, BKFC 16 main event, Joe Elmore versus Leonard Garcia. And we have Joe on the phone right now. You never know what's going to happen with this guy. We're excited to have you here, Joe. I think he's in his car or something. What's going on, Joe? Just they always make your breath smell. You got to have like a... You a Cool Ranch guy or a nacho cheese guy? You there, Joe? Really, I'm not Joe. Joe's talking to somebody. Throw that in the chat. We're trying to get him on because we have less than 8 days away. BKFC 16. Joe, you there, buddy? Joe Elmore versus Leonard Garcia.
Yeah, I'm
and we
here.
have Joe on the phone right now. You never know what's going to happen. All right, Joe. So I got some weird feedback in my ear. Hopefully, production can fix that as I'm talking to you. I hear myself talking, but Joe. We're happy to have you on, man. We were just talking before we even get to the fight. Rob and I were just talking about 3D Doritos, and I know you're in training now, and they're back out, and he's all excited. I mean, he's like pumped about it. It's like the best thing ever happened to him. So if you're a Doritos guy, we wanted to know, just to start off, are you nacho cheese or Cool Ranch?
Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you great. You probably just didn't hear anything I said. I can hear you great. Can you hear me, Joe?
Hello.
Live show. I love it. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Don't hear nothing.
Joe don't hear nothing, as he says. Joe, look, he's got a car full of people. Hey, Joe, how you doing, man?
Hey, Joe, can you hear us, buddy?
Should we take a break and get this situated or something?
There we go.
There we go. What's up, Joe?
Man, doing good. Had to get rid of that audio for you so it wouldn't be as much feedback.
Well, we're glad to have you, Joe. And, you know, excited about your fight coming up. And as I was saying before, I know you're in training and stuff, but we just talked about before you came on, Rob's extremely excited about these 3D Doritos that came back out. I mean, way too excited. But we were talking Cool Ranch or nacho cheese, which one you like. Again, you're in training. You're not eating them now, but when you're not, what are you eating, Cool Ranch or nacho cheese Doritos?
I started out nacho cheese, but I'm Cool Ranch, but I don't eat anything like that at all. Camp or not no more, to be honest with you.
My man.
Rob does. I do too. But we've seen, if we all took our shirts off and you could tell the two that ate the Doritos, right?
Yeah.
So, Joe, Joe, it's always glad to have you on here. We love when you call in. We're excited for your big event coming up, the main event. And I had met you at your first BKFC with Will Chope, where you put him down in 1 round. And I was talking about this story earlier. I got a text message that just said Joe Elmore from my friend Chris with an exclamation point. And that's the way I felt about you too when you came on. I love your intensity. I love that you're, please take this with respect, a little bit unhinged. That's a compliment right now. And I love your fighting style, how you just won't back up. And you have such charisma. So it's glad to have you part of the roster. And I remember talking to you after that fight. And I said, where's your career going? Joe goes, it's going to go up to the top, man. I'm going to the top. And I said, well, man, keep doing what you're doing and you go to the top. And now here we are with the main event. How exciting is it to be in the main event at BKFC 16 coming up in 8 days?
Man, I'm super excited, to be honest with you, dude. Like I said, I'm staying pretty busy, dude. On the way to the gym right now. Of course, I got stuck in a little bit of traffic. I got a guy coming to do the documentary, but really he's just coming to film a spar. I've got all my teammates coming in today. Dude, I've been doing 2 and 3 a day. So I'm picking Brandon Maddox up from the airport tonight at 10:55. Like I said, man, he's a world-class boxer. Just got done fighting White Chocolate. I think it was on Showtime or DAZN.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So I got a good training partner down here with me to work some boxing, some angles. I got my boxing coach living with me, man.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, Joe, you talked about that, your boxing coach living with you. Well, we were talking the other day doing a face-to-face, which is available on the BKFC app, bkfc.com. You want to find out more about that. And you mentioned to us, I don't know if this made the final cut, but you said something about your coach has been living with you for weeks, and he'll come in at like 4:30 in the morning and kick you out of bed if you're not waking up. Is this true? I mean, were you just joking around?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Like, what, hey, I'm going to get him to do it. What would you say, Coach, 5:30 in the morning? What's happening? Hey, time to get up. Let's go.
I love it. So
I'm telling you, Bubba, yeah, that voice is waking up.
Yeah, that'll wake you up. Joe, from your first BKFC to this one, how are you approaching? How's your training changed from your first bout to now this one? Excuse me, now your third bout.
Man, I'm just leveled up, dude. They're paying me for my time now, so my time's more valuable, and I can put more into my time. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm paying to fly. Brandon here, I got my coach here, I got sponsorships, I got enough money to invest in my team. So yeah, man, I'm training hard right now.
So you're definitely taking it to a whole other level on this bout.
A whole nother level.
Which I'm afraid of that.
Fighting's been my life. Now training is my life, and I don't even do this ever. No more.
Good.
Love it, man.
That's
Love
a good
that
thing.
hat, Joe.
It's a great hat. Now, Joe, when you talk about training, we talked about this earlier. Leonard Garcia was talking to him yesterday, did an interview with him, and he has Tom Schoaf. I don't know if you're aware of that, who you fought the 5-rounder with a couple months back. He brought him in for the training camp. So when you hear that kind of thing, first of all, were you aware of that?
Oh, yeah, man. Like I said before on another interview, what's he going to do? Bring Tom in and teach him how to lose? Because, I mean, if Tom's in there, Tom's a good boxer, so I understand what he's doing. But to be honest with you, I ain't a boxer, dude. I teach boxing, but this is bare knuckle fighting championships. This isn't bare knuckle boxing.com. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna fight him. I'm a world-class striker with a lot of power. I set my angles up, so I'm gonna let my coach drive that way.
You sure are, man. And I love that you wear a seatbelt. Shout out to that too. I saw you unlatch it there before you got out. You're a safe guy. You're gonna make it to the fight. Where are you going? What are you in the woods somewhere, Joe?
Nah, man, I'm in the middle of Atlanta. I pulled over on a side road so we could get off the highway just so I could make sure I was focused in interviewing. I didn't want to waste any time. You know
We appreciate that.
Thank you,
Joe.
Joe. So let's talk more about you as a fighter and what we've seen out of you. We were watching earlier you tasting your own blood in the ring. You go in the ring and you become this unhinged madman. It's almost like a switch goes off within you. Can you speak more about that? Because if people talk to you, you love the fans, you'll hang out with them, but then in the ring you're this. It's another level. It's not just a fighter. You're another level. How does that happen? How does that switch go off to make you hit that level?
Man, I say it every single time, but I'm a passionate dude, man. I got a lot of love in my heart. And one thing that I feel as a man, I was raised like a man. You know what I'm saying? I build my own, I burn my own, I do all my own. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm protecting the ones that love me, the ones that have invested in me. So when I'm fighting, dude, it's easy, man. I'm not going to go down, man. My wife, my son, my family, my investors, my people, everybody's there. My gym, they all believe in me. So yeah, man, I'm fighting for them, dude, and I die for mine. So when I'm out there, I have no fear. I feel adrenaline. I get pumped up, and I love fighting too, man. So I'm having fun doing something I love.
Joe, we're showing clips, you can't see it, but of the Tom Schoaf fight. They're showing your face now. It's all swollen. And you had told me a story, and I tried to reiterate this earlier. We'll make sure I'm telling you correctly, that you bit a piece of your tongue off in the Tom Schoaf fight. Can you tell us where that happened and how it happened?
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Oh, geez. Okay. You look like Gene Simmons over there. It's Joe Simmons, the Joe Show here.
Look,
I love it.
It's a scar. Man, that's the third time I've done that shit.
What? What human being says that? So where seriously, where did it happen in the fight? Can you the round, or so we can look for it?
So yeah, there was in the second round, there was a uppercut. I went to hit him with a straight, and I kind of landed it, but he landed an uppercut. And if you watch during the fight, there's a scene you can see where I go over to my corner. I believe it's the end of the second round, so it happens somewhere right there. And I stick my tongue out. and I'll do this into the camera. And my coach is like, put your fucking tongue back in your mouth. And I'm like, I'm good, which I was just showing you, like, so I was having to hide my tongue, but I was afraid with them. Like, I didn't know if it stopped the fight or think my tongue was hanging off or.
So Joe, that happened in the second round, and you made it all the way to the end of the fight.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So is it truth to the rumor too that somebody had said they'd seen you in the locker room afterwards because you were out like taking pictures? I saw, but I didn't see this part. You had a piece up here in your head. You were pushing it back in with your finger.
Okay, so I went to the back. Hector Lombard was getting ready for his fight.
Okay,
dude, he was jumping up and down in the hallway like, Hitman, nobody does it like you. I'm here, and I'm like, hold on, man, I got to wipe the blood out of my head, man. I'm bleeding all over my face. So I went in the bathroom and I grabbed the paper towel and I was dotting this eye. And as I did it, I looked in the mirror. I'm like, oh shit, man, some of the toilet paper got stuck in my eye. Oh. And I went to fucking jerk it out. And I realized as I did, I was like, it was a white nerve, like a little worm hanging out of my head. Oh, man. That makes you do this shit right here was hanging out like a little fucking, looked like a tapeworm. Oh. So I was like, damn, dude, tapeworm. I could go to the hospital. But my whole family flew in. And I was like, no way I'm missing this fucking after party. My family's here. By the way, Dr. Kamosi said he would sew me up in the back, and he's like a world-renowned plastic surgeon anyway. So I would rather that than some emergency room high school kid fresh out the point, sew my face up. So I just tucked it back in my eye and then kind of like squeezed it together, and so it wouldn't be hanging out. And I went and did my White Claw party. Well, they didn't have White Claw there, so I had to drink shots. But I don't
Joe. There's no one like you when you tell these stories. A tapeworm, the guy says, coming out of his eye, it felt like. I wondered that the Tom Show fight, you were pretty beat up. You look great now, but was that one of the hardest fights of your career? Would you say that where you took the most damage?
Now, Jordan Rinaldi beat my ass one time too, man. He held me down and wrestled me because he was scared to stand up in my MMA career. And I actually went to the after party with a pink scarf and ice on my face with my wife. I had a knot, looked like somebody stuffed a softball on my forehead. From where he held me down and elbow. I don't quit, dude. I don't go to sleep. So
I know you don't.
I mean, I'll take an ass whooping and take that one shot all the way. If I take my ass whooping all the way to the end and I hit him with one good overhand at the last second, then it's over. So that was one, but that definitely was the toughest fight, boxing stand-up I ever had.
Well, do you foresee the main event coming up in about 8 days, Bkfc 16? Leonard Garcia, bad boy, a legend, a fight that you've asked for repeatedly. Now you have it. Do you see, because you're almost mirror images of each other, you're going to come, you guys are going to be like two freight trains colliding, throwing a barn burner, as they call it. Like, do you think this fight could create more damage for you, or where do you see this fight ending? Like, what round?
Nah, man, I literally told my coach got so pissed at me, guys, because that last fight, I told him, I was like, man, I need a fight of the year. I need to go out here because I knocked out Wilch open. I got a lot of hype from it. But I was like, they don't think I can go out here and fucking fight. So I need to go out here and fight, man. I want to put on a bloodbath, coach. And he's like, no, we're not, Bubba. No, we're not. But I felt it in my soul. I had a dream about it. And like I said, they'll talk about this being my destiny. But I literally have had like signs come or dreams. And this fight, I dreamed I knocked him out. My coach is calling 45-second first round.
45 seconds.
That's what my coach said. He said he had a dream. It's 45 seconds in the first round. I've seen it in the first and second round. I know there's a possibility because I have to imagine in the back of my head, my coach is going to snap me for saying this too, that there's a possibility that it could be another 5-round bloodbath. But I've been working my boxing.
I hear the coach. I can hear your coach yell hell no in the background.
I told him hella head movement, man. And I'm going to prove that I'm a world-class head movement boxer, and I can go out there and miss damage and still knock him out with one punch. So yeah, man. Like I said, I'm world-class. I'm going to show y'all a whole different side. Every fight's different.
That's why you're so entertaining.
Can't train for me. Yeah, you can't train for me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. I won FX Tough Man contest in 2001. 1997, I grew up boxing, gymnastics. So I go out there and I use all my skills, angles, movements, power.
What a career, too.
Joe, where does that come from? Where does this never give up, never quit attitude come from, man? You've got a lot of passion. It doesn't look like you don't back off. You never quit. Where's that originate from?
I say I got bullied, but I didn't get bullied growing up, man. I was just 4'11", 103 pounds my freshman year in high school. And I was goofy. I have a mental disability. I'm ADHD to the extreme. I stim. I close my eyes. That's why I stick my tongue out when I fight. I don't ever talk about that to nobody, but through fighting and martial arts, man, it's like my violin. It's my musical instrument. people love me and respect me because of it. I have love and respect for others because of it. It's my music. So I literally just, I love everything about it. I love the announcers, the friends I make, the fans, you know, everything. So dude, I'm at peace. War puts me at peace. It's like my special place. So yeah, I love it. I just love it. It's what makes me love me.
That's a great way to look at it. That's what makes the fans love you too. The Joe Show. That's the Joe Show.
The Joe Show.
And also, you know, as we get ready to take some fans' questions, they're putting them in the chat. We'll take a fan question or two, and they could win one of these awesome BKFC hats. But I saw Chris Lytle. He was talking about you, and he was talking about you and your wife and what a team you are. Your wife stands behind you. I feel like your wife is in the fight with you at ringside sometime. Is that correct to say?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, she's been in my corner. That's my wife. That's my corner. I mean, she evaluates and watches she keeps up with everything. She makes every morning my clothes are laid out on the stairs. My old gym stuff is washed. It is a team and a unit. Mm-hmm. And she does this being a full-time teacher. Wow. She's been nominated Teacher of the Year twice, got Teacher of the Year here. She's a STEM director. She's on the finance team for that. So she's balancing and juggling and doing this, helping me chase my dreams. But I mean, that's my best friend, dude.
That's the way it should be.
We're gonna be champions together. The reason I do all this and stay pretty and keep entertaining y'all.
Staying pretty.
Hey, if I gotta be a king, she's a queen, and my queen's gonna be a queen.
Absolutely. And Joe, you guys sound like a great team. How difficult, or has she ever asked you to throw in the towel? Has it gotten a little bit too much? It must be difficult to see your loved one get into these wars.
After Shof, right? Even after Shof, she had to be thinking that.
No, she's just like you, no quit.
That show fight. Look, my wife come up. There's times, man, whenever I got underpaid.
I've seen it.
In MMA and I was like, babe, I don't know if I'm gonna do this no more. I lost my passion and my love for it. And she looked at me and go, I haven't invested in my whole life. We've been doing this 12 years together. We started 187 management. That's Miss 187, and I'm Mr. 187. We've done everything together. And when I think about quitting, I think about her. She was the one in the audience I looked at during that Tom show fight when one more. She's going, he's fine. She was pissed at that ref. Like, my wife will look at the dude and stare him in the face. I'm nice to him. But Leonard Garcia ain't going to be able to look at my wife till after that damn fight's over. Hey, I'm telling you, she gonna mean mug him.
Yeah, you guys definitely the terrible twosome. So we have some fan questions, Joe, that we want to get to, and we promised the fans that if we pick your questions, we're going to hook you up with one of the hats. So they have to DM us for that, correct?
Yep.
All right. So the first fan question I have here on my phone, it's from Julian, Mr. Elmore. You got a good bar fight story, or have you ever been in a good brawl, or both, like outside the ring?
Look, man, I grew up in the country. Sometimes me and my friends would beat the shit out of each other for fun. We wouldn't have nobody that would fight each other from Dyer County, Lake County. So we just put on those Walmart boxing gloves where you can feel the knuckles through the nylon strings, and we beat the crap out of each other. Cut that light on for me, Bubba. And yeah, man. So I come from a place like that. My friends, I was the enforcer growing up. To be honest with you, my friends, whenever they would want to fight, they would always know that I was going to whip somebody's ass for them. So unfortunately, I don't fight in public no more. But yeah, I've cleared a couple bars.
All right,
we gotta go back out.
I feel like we're starting a little choppy with Joe. That was a good answer, and I would not want to meet Joe, especially if he's the enforcer.
Yeah, man. Joe, if I ever spilled your beer, I'd buy you a round, buddy. Trust me, man.
Think about it, you knocked over his chocolate milk in high school, you'd be done for. So that was a great question from the fans. Do we have any more questions from the fans we're going to get to? Because I think Joe's going to train. Joe, we're going to wrap this up. We'll just hook somebody else with. We have one more. Okay, I'm waiting for the next fan question to pop there because I don't know what it is. But Joe's getting ready to train. Again, in about 8 days away, Bkfc 16, he takes on Leonard Bad Boy Garcia. It is going to be just a brawl. They're going to beat the living crap out of each other. And they both have said it. They both said they're not going to back up. They both said they're going to come. So, I mean, I'm excited for it.
You're not going to want to miss.
It's on the BKFC.com, BKTV app. Do you have any more questions?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I believe production's going to throw us up one more question from a fan. We're going to get to it in a split second.
Well, as we wait to get to it, Joe, I mean, as far as the fight, if Leonard is watching right now, I'd like to do this, or maybe even just speak to the fans. I've asked this before, but I always like to see what you say. Why should they get the app, and why should they sit down and take the time to watch this card where you're main eventing?
Man, because I mean, like I said, if people want to see knockout, people want to see blood. That's what we're both come for, man. That dude's got more fight of the nights than anybody in the world, and y'all don't know me yet, but y'all are starting to learn. I ain't gonna come out without a fight of the night or knockout of the night. I mean, I'm willing to die and die for what I love. You know what I'm saying? I literally go out there and I'm going to war. So, yeah.
Well, we're excited to watch you go to war. And Joe, you know, as we look more and examine what you've done in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, the fans are super excited and they keep asking questions. We're going to get one of them up on the screen in just a minute. And Joe, I know you have to get to training, but before you go, as far as training, is there anything special you've been doing to prepare for Leonard Bad Boy Garcia?
Man, training, eating right, living right, training right, everything. I've done everything I possibly can do to train for Leonard Garcia.
So that's a great answer. Next question comes from Joshua. Joshua, you get a free hat for this question. DM us. We want to know, what is your fantasy BKFC matchup? Now, I don't know if he means fantasy like who do you want to fight or what fight would you like to see?
Any fighter.
Yeah.
Any fighter.
Me? I'm pretty excited to see the heavyweight bout and how that turns out, man. Honestly, I want to see what Shoemaker does next. I want to see how that ties up with Joey Beltran. And so I'm excited for putting that one together.
And we're excited to see you, BKFC 16, just days away, 8 days away. Main event, Joe Elmore versus Leonard Bad Boy Garcia. And like we said, it's going to be insane. So we're looking forward to it. Thanks for your time, Joe, the Joe Show. And I'm glad you look like you're going to train. You're not going to punch yourself in the head today, are you?
No, I got plenty of people punching me in the face right now. I can't. I don't need to hit myself in the face.
All right, man. You go train, and it was a pleasure to have it on here. Always love having Joe Elmore on. It turned into the Joe Show here. It was awesome. Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Sorry for the complications, but man, I love you guys. Y'all tune in, man.
We appreciate it.
Love
Thank you for
too,
your time, Joe.
Thank you. Bkfc.com. You want to check out the app? You definitely need to grab it. I mean, you can see the passion in that man. So he's going to bring that passion to the fight as he always does. And Leonard Garcia, same thing. They're like mirror images of each other. It's going to be an incredible fight. Bkfc 16, 8 days away. I'll say it one more time. Bkfc.com. Grab that app, or you can go to BKTV App.com. Either way, just get the app. That's what I'm trying to say.
Watch
it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be live on the app. We're going to be showing the prelims. Did we talk about that? I don't think we should.
No, we didn't talk about that yet.
2 free fights on the prelims on the YouTube channel starting at 7 p.m. This fight's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live.
No, that's good. That's going to be incredible because it gives you a sampling of the show. So if you're a first-time BKFC fan, you can see what to expect, and you're going to want to order it. You're going to want to get the app. It's the thing to do. So we're excited about that coming up. Actually, I don't know if we do a show next week, we'll be coming to you live from the event. So it's going to be awesome. I mean, I'm pumped. After Knucklemania coming off that amazing event, I mean, what can we do now? What's coming next? That's what you're going to have to tune in to watch. But as far as watching right here, we appreciate it every week. We appreciate your support, and we feel like we're kind of developing some kind of family here with the comments section.
Yeah.
The angry big brothers that make fun of us, the people that love us, it's all here, and we appreciate it. And Rob, I think that we should end this with a Tiger Life toast because we love our Tiger Life. That's what keeps me fueled up, and there's no crash. There really isn't. That's the only energy drink that I'll even drink. That's it.
So unfortunately, I drank all of the other day. I drank all of the sugar. Tiger Life. I don't drink the sugar-free because I just don't like sugar-free anything. But I will cheers to you on this.
Cheers to BKFC 16, Joe Elmore versus Garcia, and the whole event. And we'll see you 8 days away. BKTV App for BKFC 16. Until then, thank you and knuckle up.
Welcome to the world of Bare Knuckle TV. Watch every live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $3.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including unlimited access to the full archive of BKFC pay-per-views, behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live Bare Knuckle fights from around the globe. You can access it anywhere you want, anytime you want, instantly on most streaming devices. It's available right now on the Bare Knuckle TV app. Over 1,000 hours of on-demand content, uncut and uncensored. All here, anytime you want, anywhere you want, for only $3.99 a month. Subscribe now exclusively at bktvapp.com.